Can we meet you?
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
My name is Majakudumi Oluwatobi Daniel, and this is my beautiful and gorgeous wife.
I am Blossom Majakudumi.
Alright. Can you share with us Journey from the Memory Lane?
Journey from a memory lane. I would like her to go first on it. As I say, ladies first. So let's give her the honor.
Okay, I met my husband 8 years ago. That is precisely 2015 through a friend while we were taking our post-TMA classes at our church campus fellowship then. So she introduced me to my husband as her friend, her very close friend back then. And that was where it all started from.
She said started from. For me, it didn't start from there. But I shall remember that day. I was called and a friend called her. I want you to see my friend. And hey, hello, how are you? How are you doing? And that was it. I just walked into the church. And they said the rest is history, but we'll still hear about the rest.
Oh wow, so it was not love at first sight.
For me, I don't really believe in love at first sight. So
Oh,
it
really?
wasn't love at first sight. Sure, as at that point in time, I think I was in 100 levels. So I wasn't even looking for a wife. So it wasn't love at first sight.
200
Okay,
levels.
200 levels. So I wasn't even looking for a wife at all.
Alright, so how were you led to each other?
How we led to each other. I would have said I should start, but our own story started from I think 2015 or 2016. So mine started in 2020. So let her give a preamble from 2016 to that, and then I'll now take it up from there.
Okay, I really don't know where to start from because it's a very long story, but I'll be brief. I remember then, 2015, I was seeking admission and it was quite frustrating for me back then because I had written JAM 3 times to no avail. So all my focus was for me to gain admission that year. And after I met him, he became a casual friend. It wasn't also love at first sight for me. No, it wasn't. We share issues just lightly, then not so deep. Until I discovered this guy has some kind of depth. He's very intelligent, and when he counsels, there's no how, you have something to hold. And if you work with his counsels, I tell you, you're good to go. So back then, that was just the basic relationship we had. I wasn't thinking about relationship. Even if I was thinking about relationship, then I had 2 guys in mind. Yeah, I had 2 guys in mind that I was even confused about as I then, not him. But I just love the fact that I had someone then that I could talk to and he could counsel me the right way, the godly way. And each time I take to it, I get results. After I gained admission back then in school, I started hearing from God about marriage. Not the person yet, but like it is high time we started with marriage. So I was telling God then that isn't it too early? I was just in 100 level. I want to like take it slow, academics first, then maybe later on I can now switch to marital issues. But God was so intentional then. I wasn't even having that peace of mind about it. So I started praying, and there's something about me. I used to tell myself back then that I don't want dreams for confirmations because people have really, really bastardized dreams and all of that. I want something more vivid. I want something more solid as a confirmation for the will of God for me. And there was something about me back then, as at 2015, I had never dated, and I wasn't even ready to go into a relationship because I told God something. My first will be my last. So I was ready I was ready to take it slowly, relationship-wise. So back then, by and by, I was praying, and then God started laying it in my heart that it is Brother Toby.
Brother.
Yeah, as at then it was Brother Toby. And so back then, when God was revealing him, I didn't want it because I already had 2 people in mind, of course. So I was hoping God would just point one of them, like, okay, this is the person, not someone outside those 2 people that I wanted. So I wasn't even showing it to those people that I wanted them, no. But I just had them in mind. So when God was pointing him to me, I was really baffled. Like, how come? I knew it wasn't me because I never wanted him. Like, sorry, I had my spec then. Yeah, every lady has a spec, and I also had mine. So it wasn't really my spec.
Wow.
It wasn't really my spec. So I wasn't even interested. I fought God seriously. And it got to a time that I started having these feelings. It started with these kind of feelings from within. And the feelings came and superseded the one I had for the other guys I was looking at. In fact, it was only one of them I had feelings for. So the feelings came from within, like from the bottom of my belly. And I was wondering how come. Why? I was wondering how come. Why this brother? I don't want this brother. I was fighting God then, and it was becoming irritating, I would say. So then we're close friends and we talk a lot. So there was one day I told him I want to discuss something with him. And then he asked me to come to meet him at his faculty in school. So I went to his faculty and I said that I have an issue. He was like, what is it? Then I told him there's this feelings that is growing within me for a brother. I didn't mention his name. I didn't tell him he's the one. And there's this brother I'm beginning to develop feelings for. Since we talk a lot, we discuss, like we're close friends. So I could at least gist him everything. So I said, I don't know what to do. I feel it's not good. It's an inordinate one. And I don't want it to grow. And I don't want it. So he said that there's something he used to do in his own case. So anytime he's beginning to have these feelings for a lady, he goes to quench it in prayers. That I should go and pray. He tell me to go and pray. I should go. I should not allow the feelings to grow. That else it will put me in trouble. And me too, I'll be like, okay, sir. So I went back to God, knelt down, and I prayed seriously against the feelings. But when it's like you're pouring petrol inside fire, that was the result I got. So I was frustrated, pained, and that even made me to leave the fellowship I used to attend, where he was a worker attending, because I don't want to set my eyes on him. I don't want to see him. I don't just want what was going on. So sometimes he will reach out, call me, I've not been seeing you. I'll tell him I'm fine. It continued until at some point I wasn't feeling myself again. I wasn't feeling peace with this other guy. I wasn't feeling like, I felt like I was even out of track with God completely at some point. Why? Because the origin started from this marital issue. God was telling me this is the person, but I deliberately left who God was talking to me about to go to someone else. So that sort of disrupted a lot of things between me and God. And I felt a disconnection between me and God. Funny enough, I didn't know how he observed that spiritually I wasn't that balanced. Later on, God used several other situations, even dreams. Me that I didn't want dreams then. There were several dreams I had. And there were other critical confirmations that I can't say in the open and public space rather. There were critical confirmations that God brought to me that made me know that yes, this is the right person. Now, there was one last confirmation I told God after all the series of confirmation that God gave me. There was one last confirmation that I told God that He was going to give me for me to know that yes, it is this brother. Everyone in my fellowship then knew that this brother has a very high taste when it comes to sisters, not even sisters alone. Life generally, he has this high taste for things. So everyone knew then that there's no sister in Ilorin that this brother can ever go for. We were all aware. In fact, people do say it then. I used to hear it and I knew. Even me myself, I knew it. And he told me by himself that there was nobody in Ilorin that matches up to his taste and expectations in terms of marriage. So I held that and I knew that no, he can't come for me. It was when he came into my life as a friend, just a friend. That was when I started having this mindset to work on myself. So I was just telling God that God, this will be the last confirmation, and I doubt it was going to come for me. I was telling God that I doubt it was going to come for me, and even if it does, I'm not sure it will be able to. Then God said, let's just watch and see. So I surrendered to God that okay, yes, He's the one, fine, I would wait, but let's see if he will come for me, but God, I know you will not come. I was already telling God that before the whole thing. So later on, let him start his own so that we'll continue from there.
Praise the Lord. Okay, yeah, she has said a lot, and yeah, confirming her story, I would say more like a senior brother, always coming for counseling, say this, say that. That time that she came and she said she's having feeling for somebody, in the innocency of my heart, God, I just gave an advice. I don't know it was against me, but thank God. So for me, I think my own story started 2019. It first started with a dream. We actually close then. We talk, and I was like, yeah, president of the school, like in the fellowship. So okay, I was like, yeah, president. She was a worker under me, So we just talk normally, but we're very close and all. So 2019, I think I just had one dream in passing like that. So I beg you, what concern me with marriage? And seriously, I was so, I would say, antagonistic towards marriage. Most of my friends know that. Like, I wasn't a serious person about marriage. Throughout school, I did not even say, let me look at one sister or something. So it was towards my 500 level. That was 2019, I was my 500 level. And my friends now, as colleagues, how far now, how marriage? I say, that marriage thing. I'm not sure say anybody for this place qualify you. I just forget my go service, maybe I'll be able to see somebody. So, but I had one dream in passing before I left school that like you said, like she wasn't someone that anybody will envision I would come for. So 2020 started. I started moving on. Actually, we were close, but by the time I graduated 2019, I went for service. The distance grew. So we weren't even communicating like that again. Yeah, she tried communicating, but me, I got busy with life. So anytime she calls, I'm busy. And they will tell you that someone who does not like you will be the most busiest for you. So I didn't even have a time. I was just on my own. So I think February, that February, I actually had some couple of friends I was close to. And okay, maybe I can reason this person. But I wasn't serious with anybody. So I think February, that day I was returning from where I was serving. So I just felt this very strong impression to call her. So I called her. Can't even forget that day. She thought I wanted to talk to one of my cousins, so she was like, hello, so and so is not here. And I was like, I have the person's number, call the person if I want to call the person. That is where I called to talk to. So I just called, she was about writing the paper, and I just prayed for her and everything, then went about my own life. But I think fast forward to April 26th, 28th, God gave me some instructions. Like, He told me some things. So like, this marriage thing, I will teach you and all that. God, what are you saying? I beg. So I think on the 28th of April, that 28th or 27th, or within that period, I wanted to pray. And I think before then, one of my friend, a very good friend of mine, I would love to mention his name, but let me just keep it. A very good friend. He called me. He was like, to be alpha, marriage. What's in the soap now? I say, I don't know. The confusion will feel everywhere. I don't think I'm really ready. And I say, what about those sisters in Lorraine? I say, Lorraine, and forget that. It is not possible. I can't marry anybody from there. And I said, Toby, that's an idol. I was mad with him. I was like, are you okay? How will you tell me I have an idol? We serve God together. You know how we serve God. How will you say I have idol? He said I should go and pray. I was like, But after the call, I dropped it. I said, God, if I have an idol, I'll beg help me. I want to marry right. So I think that 26, 27, 28, I can't remember the day specifically. I was praying. I remembered where I lied down in my room. I was praying, God, this marriage thing. And He dropped her name. Now, this was my reply. When God dropped her name in my mind, I was like, God, no, I cannot marry her. He said, why? I said, the level I am now, like the level and the position I am, like she's not up to it. And see, when they said that kind of, why I say wrathful voice of God, though, very, very audible in my room that day, they said, the level you are now, who got you there? You know, when he made that statement, I was dumbfounded. I said, I'm sorry, sir. Prayer ended, I stood up. I was like, God, but I cannot marry her now. I cannot. No, like, look at her life. Like, this kind of woman, because honestly, I had a whole lot of things that I wanted in my woman. And also, fast forward from there, I think some other things happened. I was praying, but I was getting confused. I was seeing a lot of sisters. I sleep today, I dream about this sister. I sleep tomorrow, I dream about this sister. Like, God, what is going on? I cannot marry all these sisters. Now it is one. So which one? So I think there was this day I just prayed. I said, God, I'm having dreams and dreams and dreams. Dreams can be manipulated. But I want something that, see, by the time I know this, even in 5 years down the line, I'll be able to look back and say, because of this thing, it was you that led me. So I think I can't forget that day. I can't. 1st of January 2021. 1st of January 2021. After what night service, she came back from what night service. That day, when I came back from what night, I didn't feel like talking to anybody, so I think I switched off my phone or put it on silence or something.
We spoke first. We greeted.
No, we didn't greet after what night service. We didn't greet.
We greeted, then I went to pray. Then you now said you are going to pray too.
Yeah, I've forgotten. We didn't greet because that day you came back and you noticed that this one he doesn't want to be disturbed, so we didn't even communicate. I just went and I slept. So when I slept, I don't know. See, I can't explain that scenario, but I just remember there was this presence beside me. Like, I could feel it was God. Yes, I didn't see a face or see anybody, but there was this very strong presence and a voice. And I was like, hey, on marriage, Alpha, go ahead and go to the rightful kidney. And I said, God, go where? He said, go. I said, no, I can't. He said, why? I said, I don't think she's the one. He said, but I'm telling you that she's the one. I said, God, I'm not sure she's the one. He said, okay, but I'm telling you, go in faith, trusting me. I said, God, but I don't have money. He said, go in faith, just go. I said, no, that I'm not too sure. Like, so there was one thing he said to me, which we always, like, I always, in my dealings with God, like, anytime I pray about a particular issue, I'll tell him that, God, I'm putting this thing in your hand. However it's going to go, if it's the very last minute and it's not your will, please bring me out of it. So I remembered he made that statement. He said, I'm telling you to go, trusting me. If it's not my will, in the very last minute, I will bring you out of it. So after that thing, whether I woke up or whether I came down from the trance or the vision, I can't really tell what it was. Is my mind playing games on me, Jerry? It's not good. Why am I married? So February, I can't remember the dates in February, but that same year, 2021, I still had that similar experience. Like, I could feel that presence beside me, and it was like I was in a kind of, I won't say a church, but like there was a platform where someone came and just stood on the platform, and the person said something which I didn't hear, but I knew there was a book on my laps, and I opened it, and what I just saw was her name, like emboldened with gold and all. I woke up and I beg, it's my mind again. March again, another confirmation. It's my mind, I beg. So I remember I was telling most of my friends this, like, those are very close to me. I was like, God has given you the confirmation, but what do you want again? I said, no, I still want more confirmation. I want to be very sure. He said, Toby, that's why, you say God won't get angry. I said, God cannot get angry. So, April, God, we have confirmation, nothing. May, nothing. God, have you forsaken me? God went quiet. When God went quiet, I said, I could told God I don't have money. Let me go and pursue money. So I went, I faced my work, I got so busy with work. Yes, we're still friends, we're communicating, talking and all, but it was like, God, you say you're the which is the one, but let's say I good, but I'm not too. So me myself personally, I started looking out for okay. I started seeing some my cool friends like this lady, God, that fun now. Yeah, people I prayed about and see literal no. I'm like, what's going on now? But it always comes back to her. Then I think after I went, I walk, pursue body, everything. End of 2022, I sat down, I did evaluation of how my year went, and I looked at my bank account. I said, Toby, the money you have purchased, where's the money? You better just follow what God said you should do. So I went back to God. I got, how far is marriage thing? He said, I've told you what to do. When you're ready, go ahead and do it. So that was how I just took the both step and said, okay, fine, God, you say I should do this, I will trust you and I will go ahead and do it. So that was how I think this year, 2023 January, I took the necessary step, telling my parents and all that.
Okay, so what would you say is the place of friendship in love? Like, were you guys friends for a period of time, or were you not friends, or God just spoke to you that is this person, and you immediately went?
For me, we're friends because there's one prayer I prayed when I was a young Christian. I told God something. I said, the person I want to marry, like the person I want to marry, at least, Tobakiri, I should know the person for 6 years. I just said it out of. So I remember when I was in 100 level, there was this dealing that I had with God. Because yes, in church they tell us don't have a girlfriend, don't have a boyfriend, keep yourself and all keep ourselves now, no problem. So I remember that day in my room, 100 level. So I had this kind of conversation with God that God, the woman I want to marry, that me I must know her and I must be friends with her. So God was like, but you are told you are taught not to have a boyfriend. I said, God, that's their own. Me, at least I have to know who I will marry and all. So he asked me one question. He said, the girl you want to be in a relationship with, how are you sure she's not going to be a stumbling block to you and or probably fall into sin and say, God, why are you talking like this? Jamie, I'll go and pick a girl that will make me go into sin. That will pick someone that knows you very well, will start strong together and all and all and all. He said, okay, what about you yourself? I said, God, me too now. At least I'm serving you. I know I will do what's right and everything and all. And I said, what about the devil that doesn't want you to stand and wants you to fall? I said, God, I might be able to vouch for myself. I might be able to vouch for the sister. But you see that devil, I cannot vouch for him. So that thing alone zeroed my mind towards anything relationship in school. So it was more like I was just a book person, church person, nothing concerned with any girl. That's why most of them in school that time, they felt I was a very proud person, but really I wasn't. But just that I just felt, I beg, they don't really matter now. I don't need them now. This is not the time for that. So after that, what do you call it? That period, this period of God's dealing, I shall told him that period that but the person I want to marry, I want to know the person for a while. So yes, I think we met 2015 or so, but so just hello, hi. Then when we closed from church, just since our house was towards the same direction, we walked down. She turned to the right and I turned to the left and went to my house. So it was just gradual, but we really got close. I think 2018, 2019, 2019 mostly. So that's when we got to know each other. From there, the friendship grew, and so yes, there's a place of friendship in all this.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a place of friendship, I would say. He was first my friend before the feeling started. We were first friends. Like I said earlier, I share a lot of things with him. If I didn't see him as my friend, definitely I can't share most of those personal issues with him. So he was first my friend, and we grew as friends first. And I would say that really helped us in I would use the word relationship with each other, even in our courtship, now in marriage. Sometimes I wonder, how do people who were not friends cope when they get married? Because I see the way I relate with my husband, the way we relate as friends. Sometimes there's not even butterflies at all. We just relate, laugh, jest as friends. We do some funny things. And I keep wondering, how do people cope when they marry themselves as strangers? So it's very important you become friends with your spouse or partner before you guys get married, because it is that friendship that will sustain that relationship, even when there is nothing, even when there is no feelings, no butterflies, when there are challenges. It is that friendship that will sustain. There are times that we'll argue, but there is a place of friendship. When we are arguing, even in our arguments, we'll just start insulting each other and we'll laugh over it. And that's all. That is all. That issue, we will never revisit it again. So it is very important you become friends with who you want to marry.
I would like to add something. If you listen to what she said it's important you become friends. It's not necessarily that it's your friend you must marry, but whoever you are going to get married to, make sure that there's a development of friendship before the marriage itself.
And don't have it in your mind that because I want to marry this person, let me be friends with him or her. No, let it be an unconscious thing. Because if you have it in your mind that because you want to marry this person, you want to be friends with the person, you won't enjoy that friendship. In fact, it won't work out. It will be full of deceit. So it's best you just throw your mind off marriage and first be friends. Be yourself around each other. It will really help.
Alright, thank you so much. Were there any major disagreements during your courtship, and how were you able to settle them?
Yeah, there are a lot of disagreements, and yeah, some we can't put in the public space and all, but the truth is that if you are in a relationship, in a courtship or whatsoever, and there are no disagreements, then both of you are not being real to yourselves at all. That both of you are not being real to yourself. So in every relationship, in every courtship, like even marriage itself, you will still disagree. There's this example they used to always use that brothers and sisters that came out from the same womb will still have to actually fight and quarrel and misunderstand each other, and also there are always disagreements. But one of the things that we used in actually settling some of these disagreements is simply, okay, this is what you are saying, this is what I'm saying, okay, what is God saying? So sometimes whereby there's no really why I say, okay, this is what God is saying exactly on this matter in the scriptures. So yeah, you go and pray about it. Let me go and pray about it. Then we'll come back and sort it out. So the I would say the basis or the center of where every disagreement is actually worked on, or kind of why I say, yeah, let me use the word worked on, is on the basis of God is the center of everything. So we always go back to him on every desire. It will always come, but definitely since we have God as the center, we have always made.
Also, the only thing I would add to what my husband has said is, when you guys are having disagreements in courtship, don't sleep over it. Make up your mind as couples that you don't want to sleep over any form of disagreement, no matter whatever it is. Settle it before you go to bed. That really helped us even before we started courtship as friends. When we fight over issues, we just know that we can't sleep over it. Even if there are times that I might be so mad that I want to just go and sleep, I might even switch off my phone, but I wouldn't have that peace to sleep. I will on it back and call him. So if you imbibe that culture, it will also help you a lot.
Alright, so how did you propose to her, and what was her reaction like?
I proposed. So okay. I remember when we were still like, she didn't know I have intentions towards her to marry her and all, but that they were just talking. So I was like, I can't remember exactly what we were saying, but I told her something. I said, any lady I'm going to come for, you don't know until the day I'm to propose to her. Yeah, they lie. That she, concerning the way our church do their marriage stuff and all that, she should know. That definitely she will know. I said, you can't. She will know that normally you stop talking to the person. Okay, stay there. So I went, did all the process, MC, everything. We're still friends. We talk, we just laugh. But she didn't
even
know.
Talk every day.
You didn't know. She didn't know anything. She didn't know anything. So on the day of proposal, I remember I went to see MC that day. So how far? They said then they will call the sister and say, for what? They said for you to propose. I said, no, that I'm not ready to propose. They said, no, it's here you propose. That's the way we do it in our own church. So I'm like, strong man. I left the church. I went to eat. I said, let me go and eat first. so I went to eat. Then after eating, I even brought the food to church. So I just sat there inside the car. I said, so you proposed? I was sweating. So like, hey, girl. So as I just came down from the car, I walked towards the church. So through the window, I saw her seated there. I said, I was like, hey, Toby, what will you say today? I had not even prepared any line. I have not said anything. Like, at the point, like, say this is where you will stand. You better go inside and do what you have to do. So that's how I came to the door. I started walking in. So she raised up her head and she saw me. She was like, Jesus, what are you doing here? I'm like, I said, what's your own? I came to see somebody. She was looking at me like, who is this one? Like, what? So she felt probably maybe me, I want to come and start the process with MC and maybe coincidentally with just me. So I went to meet the MC. I said, yeah, oh, okay, that you know what, they'll call me when they are ready for me. So they called her that someone will come and propose to her. I think that's when she started putting 1 and 2 together. Is it the brother? So then she took us to one corner. They asked me what I said. I don't remember. I shall proposed and she was just there blushing.
The reason why I was surprised was because I wasn't expecting it would be the one. There was this brother already giving me some vibes in church then. So that was the brother I had in mind that had gone to the marriage committee. So when marriage committee called me earlier this year that I should go for medical tests, I was like, who is that person again? Because you have to use your money to pay for the test. And not too long ago, I just said no to somebody that I used my money to pay for tests. So I was now like, is this how I'll be spending money on tests and just be saying no to brothers? So I was pissed. I had that brother in mind. That is that brother. Because there's this way he acts and behaves, and there's this way he comes to my DM, So I was like, why would this brother do this? So I was thinking he would be the one and not my husband, because as at then, there was no glimpse at all. Like, I couldn't even see, there was no inkling at all that he was going anywhere or doing anything. So when they called me, I went for test. In fact, I remember the day I went for test, I went with anger. I did the blood test and then I went back. I called him the day they called me to go for tests, to come, marriage committee, the day they called me. I called him and I told him. I didn't know he was the one. So I said, that brother has gone. No. He said, Dato, no wala. Then I said, they said I should go for tests. I said, then go now. I said, is this how I'll be spending my money? He said, go and do it. You just have to do it. So I went to do the test, and now the day they called me to come again for proposal, I was expecting to just see that brother walking and then I'll give him one kind of face and just say my no and go home in peace. Then I saw him walking. My heart caught. Let me use that word. I was like, is he the one? Or let me wait. So I just calmed myself, and then at the end of the day, it happened to be the one. Hard boy, he was sweating. He was sweating that day, so that was how it all went.
Alright, so what's your view on Christian courtship?
I'll go first.
Okay. Christian courtship is actually very essential for any Christian. If you want to do the will of God and you want to marry well, you have to go through that Christian courtship. I went through it and I saw the results. Christian courtship helps you to cut a lot of excesses, things that you shouldn't be doing as a Christian. We are humans. We might just feel like, okay, we have the Holy Ghost, we have the Spirit of God, we are born again, and we can't fall into sin if you are not careful. That is why the Bible said that let he that thinketh he stand take heed lest he fall. Even the Bible knows that as a human you are prone to fall. So if you're not careful, you can fall. If you don't follow the Christian courtship and the rules that has been given attached to that Christian courtship, I tell you, you can fall. Because it's not easy. If you love someone, being alone with the person at a place, and it's not easy. But if those rules are there to guide you guys not to fall into immorality, I tell you, it is the best thing that can happen to you during your courtship. After everything, all glory will return to God and you guys will continue enjoying yourselves. So I can tell you from my own personal experience, I'm really thankful to my church because they made it seamless, one, and they gave that standing rule which helped us to not to do and misbehave in any way. So we're able to keep our courtship very clean and righteous until the day of our wedding. So that is my take on Christian courtship.
So Christian courtship, I'd say it's actually a time you guys the intending couples get to know each other. And yeah, there's actually a critical need for Christian courtship. Like she has said, she spoke about the purity part and keeping yourself and all. But me, I'll talk about the knowing where you are going. Like, what is the purpose? Why are you people coming together? See, okay, personally, I said it earlier on that I've been this kind of antagonistic towards marriage because I discovered so many marriages are patterned towards we just get married, give birth to children, send them to school, they grow, they get married, give birth to children, like just one circle that is very vicious. And I'm like, no, I don't want this kind of life. So it should be, where are you people going to? You have to agree to disagree to agree, in the sense that you have to talk about things that drive you, things that drive her. Like, where is the common ground? So it would not be that the Bible tells us that can two work together except they be agreed. If there's no agreement, you can't get far, you can't get anywhere. And see, one of the things that actually affect a lot of Christian homes is, or a lot of homes rather, is when the husband wants to go this way, the wife wants to go this way. Definitely there can be no progress. So it's time to actually discuss things that are essential to your life. Where are you going to? Where do you see yourself in this particular number of years? Is our own path or his own path aligning with yours? It's okay to. I used to tell people that, see, that's the time we are. Permit me to use the word, be selfish with yourself and say that, see, this is who I am, this is what I want. Okay, this is what you want. Okay, how can we compromise? Be real with each other, be truthful to each other. Don't hide anything and say, he's saying it, I will say yes. When we marry, I'll not tell him no. It will cause fight and it will cause war. So it's actually a good time to get to really know each other, know where you are going, what the convictions each person holds, and see if you can actually work together and know if of a truth God actually led you. They do tell us a broken courtship is better than a broken marriage. So me, I will just say my own advice here. Courtship is very good. Christian courtship is very, doing it in the Christian way, it's very, very, very good. And let me say this. It's not a time, because I know a lot of people do this, but it's not a time to start for the wife to be giving, the intending wife, or the, what do they call them? The spinter, to start giving, the fiancé and fiancé to start giving wifely treatment and husband treatment. No. That time is just time for you to let the person know you for who you are. There's no need to hide anything. Just be free with the person. And also, people talk about what do they call this thing? Hiding your past. Please say it. If the person is really led by God, the person will stay. If the person is not, the person will go. And if the person will use it against you, just put the person in God's hands. You don't have to disturb yourself, but be real with each other, because really, a lot of issues in the family actually springs up from when the courtship is not done properly. So yes, Christian courtship is actually a goal for anybody who wants to have a godly Christian.
Alright, so to wrap it up, what advice do you have for the younger ones coming behind, those in courtship? Is it a compulsory thing to do the will of God? Like, what do you have to say to them?
I would like to go first. Okay, it's very important to do the will of God. And I'm saying this with my full chest, and from my experience, my testimony. I never wanted to do the will of God, but I'm really thankful to God that God compelled me to do it. Not really compelling me, He helped me, He gave me the grace to accept His will, and that has helped me. When God started with me on the issue of marriage, honestly, I felt it was too early, but it was the best time. God's timing is always the best. It was the best time. If God had not started with me as at that time, as at now, I'll be married with maybe 2 kids. Yes, He knows. I'll be married with 2 kids by now, and it wouldn't have been a fulfilling one. God helped me to do His will, and in His will, I found fulfillment. I said it earlier, when I was talking about how God led me to Him. He was someone that God used for me, career-wise, financially, academically, every aspect, intellectually, moral-wise, every aspect. God really used him. I was seeing him then as someone that, but by the time I got closer, by the time I accepted God's will, I started seeing the benefits. Me being a broadcast journalist today, yes, I'm not yet where I want to be. In fact, I've not started. But yes, I can still say I'm proud of where the level at which I am right now. It was the one that God used. I'm not sure I would have been able to achieve this career, this at least career fit I am today without him. I wouldn't have been able to. Probably I'll be doing one business that doesn't have any, or living aimlessly, like just there. But God helped him, used him to talk to me. We read books together. He encouraged me, pushed me. I mean, when you mean someone pushing someone, he really did. He pushed me to this point, and God is helping me. He has not started, he has not stopped. We are still pushing each other, but I would say that so many achievements I have today, he was the one that God used. Why? Because I submitted to his will. This was what God had told me right from when I was even in secondary school, that the person I'm going to give you to marry will be someone that will pick you up, polish you. And God really fulfilled that. If I had not done God's will, honestly, I wouldn't be giving this testimony. And after then, before the wedding itself, while we were still friends, there were lots of benefits. I can't even say it all here. There were a lot of things. This man right here is so sweet. It's just so sweet. So if you do the will of God, if you go the right way, honestly, you will enjoy your marriage. You will enjoy your relationship, your courtship. You will enjoy everything about your life. My life is just so easy. Yes, I know that it's just like a month into the marriage now, and it's too early to start saying it's a sweet one. But no, I know the man that God has given unto me. The way the way he treats me, the way we relate, you can tell that this man is actually one that will give you peace. In him I found peace. In him I found rest, joy. When people complain here and there, relationship this, breakfast that, I don't even have such experience or testimony. It's because I made up my mind to do the will of God, which I am enjoying today. So please, do the will of God. Well, if God is pointing you to somebody, don't judge yet. Do it first. When you get into it, you will know the benefits that are therein. So that's my advice.
So, should you do the will of God? My brother, my sister, if you don't want to do it, you can decide not to. But whatever is there at the other side, you'll be the one that will bear it. The truth is, like me personally, like I said earlier on, a lot of people actually know her from way back and knowing me also. She was just trying to get her feet and really understand life and all. And me myself. But I remember there was something God specifically told me about her, and not about her, like generally. Because then I was telling him, this is the kind of woman, when you have a lot of, let me use the word idols in your head, that you want your woman to be this, you want her to be that, you want her to be this. So he told me something. He said, see, I'll give you a raw material. You'll be the one to shape her into the kind of woman you want. When he said that, I said, okay. When he now brought her there, Ishewa. But I trusted God, yes. So another thing was that I followed his leading part-time. So do this now. Right? So you have to do this. Okay. And I cannot do this. Let me ask you come. Anyway, you are ready. That's what God said. I won't even tell her that's what God said. I should even tell her. I'll just leave it at that. But one thing was that in the long run, I started seeing that, okay, God, I think we are saying something here. But when I now got married to her and we started talking, I could say a lot of things, but I discovered she's way deeper than she is from outside. Like, there are times she was telling me literally some of her encounters with God that I was having goosebumps, like literally, like So you mean you are this deep and all this why I'm not even. But see, the truth is, just trust God and follow Him. He knows what's best for you. It might not look so on the surface, but when you trust Him, He will never put you to shame. This one I can confidently say it. He will never put you to shame. So please, whatever God is saying, it might not look like it is now, but so far He has spoken. definitely follow him. So then on enjoying of marriage, I'm enjoying marriage. I don't get wahala. Eating good food, cooking, having fun, everything. Like there's no stress. Like I'm not for one to say, God, it's because of you. Like everything I'm in spot on you, and I give glory to God for that. So I believe with this long short talk, we have to pick one or two things that will actually be helpful and inspirational on your own journey for those who are intending couples or those who are in the process already and all. But to cap it all up, God still leads, but also obedience is what will bring you that far. If you don't obey Him, you cannot get the blessings He has actually prepared in store for you. So believe Him, trust Him. Yes, we see all that is happening outside there and all, but irrespective of what is happening outside there, irrespective of the glamour that we see on social media and all the things people try to portray, and in the long run we see 2 months, 3 months down the line there are breakups or divorce or whatsoever, we shouldn't pattern our lives and story after theirs. They are still very good marriages, and these marriages are marriages that are built on Christ, built on the solid rock and foundation of Christ. So if you follow Him when He leads you, I can tell you, you won't ever regret it. So young ones out there, please hold on to God, and whatsoever you do, let it just have one main goal: to bring glory to God. Your relationship, your courtship, your wedding, and your marriage. Thank you very much. I don't know if my wife wants to add one or two things before.
My husband has said it all. Thank you all for listening to our long story. I hope you guys will be able to pick one or two things to work with also in your relationship with your spouses.
Thank you very
Bye,
much.
guys.
Bye-bye.